You're showing up everywhere, posting, publishing, emailing, creating content like you're supposed to, and you're still wondering why no one's calling because visibility doesn't convert. Authority does. And if you don't understand the difference, you'll keep doing more and getting less. Welcome to the Midlife Business Academy. I'm Lori Lyons, marketing strategist, business coach, and accidental techie. After years of running a successful website design agency, I'm now building the business of my dreams and helping other midlife entrepreneurs do the same. From strategy to marketing to mindset, we covered what really matters when you're growing a business that fits your life. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Midlife Business Academy. I'm Lori Lyons, and today we're talking about something that quietly keeps a lot of you stuck: visibility. Or more specifically, why visibility isn't actually your problem. If you're listening to this podcast, you're not invisible. You're showing up, you're doing content, you're creating the things that you were told would grow your business. But something still feels off. You're visible, but growth is inconsistent. You're active, but no one's booking calls. You're present, but clients aren't converting. That disconnect isn't about effort. It's not about consistency, and it's definitely not needing to do more. It's about authority. And in my next episode, I'm going to talk about the trust recession, why your audience is more skeptical than ever, and what that means for how you market your business. But today, we're going to talk about what authority is versus visibility and why most of you are confusing it and what you need to do differently to fix it. Because being seen is not the same as authority. Visibility gets attention. Authority earns belief. And belief is what moves someone from this is interesting to this is the person I need. You can recognize someone's name without trusting their expertise. You can follow someone's content without believing that they can help you. You can like their post and still never consider hiring them. That's the gap most of you are stuck in. You assume that if they show up, authority will follow. But authority doesn't come from repetition alone. It comes from coherence. Authority comes from seeing the same clear thinking applied consistently, from watching someone solve real problems, not just talk about it. Something that feels grounded, not performance-based. You know this because you've lived it. You've bought things that didn't live up to the promise. You're cautious now, selective, and very aware of something feels hollow. Your audience is the same way. So visibility without authority doesn't just fail to convert. It actively creates skepticism. And so here's the thing. Business owners are posting on social media Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes daily, sometimes several times a day, but there's no plan behind it. One day it's Mindset Monday. The next is, motivational quotes. Then, Throwback Thursday. But there's no through line. There's no structure. There's no journey. They're not thinking where their audience is or what they need to hear to move forward. They're just putting stuff out there to put stuff out there. And even when they do create something valuable, there's no call to action, no next step, no way to work with them. Their social media leads nowhere. Or worse, when they do finally have an offer, it's buried in complicated your language that nobody understands. They talk about transformational frameworks and energetic alignment instead of just saying what the problem that they solve and who the problem solving is for. No wonder people aren't calling. Ask me how I know. A few years ago, I was showing up consistently. I was visible. I had content everywhere. I was doing all the things that my coaches told me to do, but I was exhausted and nothing was working the way it should. Every time I got tired of my message, I'd change it. I'd create a new offer. I'd shift my positioning. I thought the problem was that I needed something fresh, something different. Been there, done that, right? Do you relate to this? What I didn't realize is when I was getting tired of the message, that's usually when my audience was just starting to hear it. I was overcomplicating everything. I was listening to the shoulds instead of my inner voice that kept saying, keep it simple. That's what I teach. That's what I work with my clients on, keeping it simple, not overcomplicating it. But me, I was my own worst client. I joined a list building community, and because there was space for 4 lead magnets, guess what? I had to fill all those up. I created 4 different giveaways. 4. I thought more options meant I could talk to more people, more waited for people to raise their hand, more chances to grow my list. But what really happened was I attracted people who were just freeloaders. They were looking for free content. They'd download one thing, then the other, and then another. They were popular. Oh, yeah, people were downloading them, but they weren't my clients. They were tire kickers. They were freebie seekers. And I was spending all my time creating content for people who had no intention of ever working with me. And when I finally realized, and this was a hard lesson to learn, one gold premium giveaway is worth 10 mediocre ones. When you create one really strong lead magnet that speaks directly to your ideal client, you attract the right people, people who actually want to work with you, people who want a solution, not just another free content PDF download. But I had too many entry points. I had too many offers, too many ways people could work with me, which meant they didn't know how to work with me. So I stopped. I simplified. I created one clear offer path that makes sense. Now I still have a couple of different programs, but I only have one clear offer path. And you're going to see that being implemented in all of my marketing materials over the next couple of weeks to a month, because it is finally clear to me. And, Dr. Heal Thyself never works. But I leaned into consistency. I wasn't chasing a new strategy, not because I thought I understood the problem, but because I finally understood that authority is built through repetition of a clear point of view. I didn't see that I was doing exactly the same things that I tell my clients not to do. So I've been there. I know how it is. You can be incredibly skilled at what you do and still struggle to convert clients if your message doesn't meet them where they are. Authority isn't just knowing the right answer. It's knowing the answer that matters right now. But here's the point. If you're in the figure it out stage, which I say is up to 100K, you don't need the same message as someone who's in the work it out or certainly not in the boss it out stages. When you're in the early stage of your journey, you don't need your solution yet. You need recognition. You need proof of concept. You need to get clients. And they need to hear that their experience is reflected back to them in language that feels accurate. This is how I can help you. This is the symptoms of the problem I solve. That's authority. When someone is further along, they don't need motivation. They need precision. They need to understand why this offer makes sense now. So authority lives in the timing, and timing exactly what a client journey will give you. It helps you understand not just who your client is, but what they're ready to hear. Without that structure, your content is guesswork. With it, everything you create has a job to do. So you don't have a client journey. You have a collection of random content and a hope that something sticks. There's no intentional process guiding someone from, I just discovered you, I saw you, to I'm ready to work with you. You're not thinking about the stages that someone moves through. You're not designing content that meets people at each stage. You're not creating clear next steps. You're just slapping stuff together and hoping visibility will do the work. Been there, done that. And I can tell you, it won't. A client journey is the structure that holds everything together. It's the spine of your marketing. And without it, you're not building authority. You're just building more. If you want to go deeper in the client journey, I covered this in detail in episodes 309 through 319 just recently. And I'm working on a program right now that would teach you how to build your own client journey specifically for your business. So, what does this look like? First, I want you to get clear on who you serve. Who is your ideal client? And not in vague woo woo language or in that old fashioned demographic language. I want you to do it in specific, plain terms. Who are they? What problem do they have? And what result do they want? If you can't answer that in one sentence, your audience can't either. Second, you need to map out the stages someone goes through before they're ready to buy from you. We've all heard that it used to take 8 to 10 touch points before someone was ready to buy. Now it's more like 15 to 20. What are those touch points and what stage of the journey are you gonna bring them in on? And your content needs to answer all of that. What do they need to believe first? What questions do they have? What hesitations are holding them back? Those are the questions. And third, you need a very clear call to action. Every piece of content should guide someone to a next step, not a hard sell, just an invitation to say, if you want to work with me, if you want to solve this problem, if this resonates, book a call. Want to go deeper? Here's a link. Are you ready for support? Let's talk. It's simple, it's direct, it's consistency. There is not a lot of language put in it. Hey, this is what I have. Do you want to work with me? Let's talk. And fourth, this is the one that people resist. You need to stop changing your message every time you get bored with it, because consistency builds authority. Your audience needs to hear the same message multiple times in multiple places before they trust it. And if you keep changing it, you're starting over every single time. No wonder it's overcomplicated. No wonder it needs simplifying. So here's what authority actually does for your business. It reduces the perceived risk. When someone sees you as an authority, they're not asking, can this person do this? They're confident that you can. What they're really asking is, will this make sense for me? Will this be a waste of my time or money? And authority answers those questions before they're even asked. It tells a buyer, this person has seen this before. This person understands the nuance. This person won't force me into something that doesn't fit. That's why authority converts better than enthusiasm. Enthusiasm excites. Authority steadies. And most people in your audience are looking to be excited. People don't pay for excitement. Well, I guess they do, but not in your situation. They're looking to feel more confident in their business and what you're helping them with. And that confidence comes from being clear on their message, consistency, and showing calm leadership. What do I mean by that? You're walking them through the journey in a calm manner. You're walking them through the journey step by step. So here's the thing. You don't need a new strategy. You don't need another course on marketing. You don't need to be on 5 more platforms. You need to subtract. You need someone to help you see what's unnecessary, what's distracting you, what's not aligned with where your business actually is right now. Because most of you are doing too much, and all that activity is diluting your authority instead of building it. This is where working with someone who can see your business from the outside makes all the difference. Because the problem isn't that you don't know enough. It's that you can't see what's in the way. So here's what I want you to do after you listen to this episode. Stop asking, how do I get more visible? Start asking, where does my authority need to be strengthened? Look at your business and ask, where do people hesitate? Where do conversations stall? Where does interest fail to turn into action? These answers will tell you exactly what you have to work on next. Not everything, just one thing. Because slowly by slowly, this is how you build momentum. So if this is resonating with you, if this is hitting home, if you're realizing you're chasing visibility when you really need is authority, then let's talk. I work with business owners just like you to build a client journey that actually converts, to simplify what's not working and to strengthen what is. This is exactly what we do in my Profitable Plan Blueprint call. You can book a call with me at talkwithlori.com. The link is in the show notes. On that call, we'll talk about what could be holding you back and see if we're a fit to work together. If I can help you, we'll talk about how. If not, we'll have a great conversation and I might be able to recommend some next steps for you. These aren't coaching calls, but we will get clarity on where your authority is breaking down and what might need to shift. Because authority doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters. This is Lori Lyons, and remember, visibility gets you noticed. Authority gets you chosen. And don't forget, it's never too late to build the business of your dreams. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me on the Midlife Business Academy. If today's episode made you think, or made you feel seen, share it with a fellow business owner who could use it too. When you're ready for more support, you'll find the link to book your Profitable Path Blueprint call in the show notes. I'll be back next week with more insight and strategy to help you build a business that truly fits your life and one of your dreams. We'll see you next time on the Midlife Business Academy.